The next day, May 2nd, 2012. I didn't realize where I was in this because I haven't even edited the last part. I recorded that, like, what, a week and a half ago? We wanted to pursue the vehicle carrying Labrys as soon as the hijacking was over, but its complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive nature of the cargo, it is difficult to set up large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly, and we got a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters was moved to a police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team are sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo Research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to Mitsuru-san.
The Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
It seems that the culprit in this case definitely had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that is true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat as the possibility to destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. I guess, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister? My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that. She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms, since her regulatory system was inadequate. So she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
Special equipment?
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Mitsuru-san swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods his assent and returns to his station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on me.
And I guess, frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be alright with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger. Not to rescue Labrys. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labrys. Destroying a sister unit. It will be a painful experience if she, too, has a heart.
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
I think I can make an assumption here, and I know I'm going to trample over some text here. But knowing now that perhaps Labrys escaped on her own free will and is able to control things, she most likely caused the hijacking herself by controlling people's minds or altering them in whatever she was able to do. The way she escaped with the vehicle to Inaba is most likely using the same tricks possibly, so she herself caused the escape to happen. Why she chose Inaba, I'm not sure yet, but it was definitely her choosing, and once the actual culprits, so-called culprits, brought her there, she ran into a TV. That's how I'm going to say it. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru-san and I go over last-minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru-san is absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she is holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister?
Mitsuru-san's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts are.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labris is not our priority. The reason I formed this Shadow Operative team is to save lives. We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labris, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. I hope that Labris will become one as well. Eventually the preparations are made and our limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a Midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it is very different from an urban environment. It is a quiet, rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transporter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is, luckily for us, still active. But the vehicle has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, we must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened here last year. Though this was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru-san ordered the driver to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. Our vehicle is a long black 8-door limousine. It stands out badly in this countryside town no matter where it's parked.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, people will peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks like a site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of the town.
Our contact has arrived.
I then notice a middle-aged man in a gray suit standing outside of the window. I recognize his face. He is one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open the window.
Oh my. This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly, something not unlike astonishment or discouragement appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
A cough interrupts us.
We appreciate your co-op.
I think Mitsuru-san gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago when we were still fighting shadows and say about, I don't need to know this. Okay, I mean, we already know this.
Long time no see, miss.
Indeed.
Kurosawa fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We are both dressed for combat and I am not wearing clothes that camouflage my nature.
Oh, sorry for a humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
Now this may be because it's been even though I just edited the... No, sorry I didn't. It's been a while, so I don't even remember if this was actually said last time or if this is new for Mitsuru.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's alright. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Ah, sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Mitsuru-san asked Kurosawa-san to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. When background research was carried out across Japan at the end of 2011, this region returned high numbers in shadow detection measurements. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something did happen that was just hard to detect? Mitsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to these shadows and asked Kurosawa-san to have the local police force share their reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in the investigation records. There are limits to what an unofficial unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gazes with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems Persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside.
I have no memory if this is repeat information. I am assuming it
He
is.
claimed there was another world.
This also...
I got in touch with apparently the...
He sounds...
If this was what that detective...
I'm gonna skip it. It's all redundant. Kurosawa-san sighs. He seemed to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. It's...
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's all right. If I ever showed up for...
He opens the door himself and exits the vehicle. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back even once.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
Can't deny that.
What should we do now?
Yes. First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
Here, this reminds me of something. Looking around the area again, although I had called it a vehicle disposal site, there are also household electronics such as refrigerators discarded here. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle. Alright, I wasn't tired before this part. I was recording Digital Devil Saga, which went poorly, I might say. And now, back here, I'm feeling tired again. I must be bored. Out of my mind now,
Wait,
this game.
Agus.
Don't worry.
I extend my right hand and touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. My fingers brush the glass screen. But although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. I push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and my forearm sinks into it.
Amazing.
Rings of light spread from the contact of my arm, rippling like water across the pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said.
Not particularly.
My sense detects a sensation I've never felt before, but the knowledge of what it is already recorded within me.
It's the same. It's hard to say.
Does that mean our...
Yes, this is all repeats too. I hear a voice from an unexpected direction. Tsuru-san and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape blowing in the wind, like a figure from a western. He's standing atop a mountain of trash with his arms crossed.
Is that...
He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at...
I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he is a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a stern boxing champion in the school days and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He is also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Akihiko, don't tell me.
Mitsuru.
Tsuru-san sighs in annoyance. Oh yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. As a result, his appearance is very different from the last time I saw him. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seems to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get in...
Still the same.
So what?
Well...
Our target height, we sit...
Akihiko-san steps forward towards Mitsuru-san as if pressing her.
We're different from how we use... That's why now that something... We agree...
It's all redundant. Akihiko-san's opinion is a bit strong, but he is not incorrect. It's probable that Akihiko-san understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru-san takes caution seriously as the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second-guesses herself. I have seen Akihiko-san's words cut through her hesitation in the past. It shows his trust in Mitsuru-san not to make decisions in error.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all redundant conversations. I'm just waiting to get to, inside the TV with Agus. Alright, there we go. Good, I managed to skip out some crap. Which will give me more time for fighting. Redundancy was mostly what I'll call it. I'm surrounded by white light that strains most of my senses to their limits. A portion of my senses indicate that I'm currently in a state of similar to freefall. I can't tell up and down from left and right. This continues for a while. In the music room, eventually my functions slowly recover. Now here's the thing. Since Agus is a robot, can she be tricked by Labrys or not? I find myself inside an unknown room, sitting with one knee up. I quickly stand and check my surroundings.
Is this the music room of a school?
I can see a music stand, a grand piano, a blackboard, and portraits. There is an air of over-exaggerated theatrics to it, but I may not be far from the truth. Is this the world inside the TV? After the surreality of entering a TV screen, This comes as quite a surprise.
No sign of Mitsuru-san or Akihiko-san. Did they land elsewhere?
Watch
so
it.
much noise. I can't contact anyone like this.
It's like there's an NES game in here or something. I attempt to use my communicator, but there is no response. This looks like an ordinary classroom, but it has an alarming amount of radio interference. When I concentrate my senses again, I detect a bizarre disturbance from the entire area that is unlike normal buildings. This may be another world after all. In any case, I must join with Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. But just as I begin to make plans to do so, the monitor hanging from the ceiling switches on. What appears on it is, how to describe it, a bizarre figure that looks like a living costume.
I spy an unknown yet bewitching babe. How unexpected!
Teddy Remix. Its comical tone does not last long before the voice becomes distorted and the image disappears. It reminds me of a malfunctioning machine. I stare at the monitor. I have a hunch that it will return soon. Just as I thought, the costume reappears, but its behavior is very different now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Its mechanical sounding voice is completely different from the joking tone it had before. And that phrase, elimination process. It seems that a battle will be starting. I release the safeties from the weapons built into my body. That's when a large noise comes from behind me.
Whoa!
Really? You're going to be fighting Kanji to begin with? A young man in a school uniform comes rolling in with a yell.
A human?
Ow! Jeez! Decided to open right then! Makes no damn sense.
I thought that I was ready for any eventuality, but I had not expected to suddenly encounter a human.
Are you alright? You seem to be unharmed.
Then the young man looks back at me, a steely gaze while fixing his bleached hair with his fingers. His behavior does not seem to be that of one who came in pursuit of me.
What? Never seen you before.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aegis.
Only then do I remember that my appearance would seem very peculiar to a casual observer.
I'm a transfer student. I have blue eyes, blonde hair, Gatling cannon.
Huh?
I'm sorry, forget what I said. In the past, that prepared explanation for students has been effective, but no longer.
Okay. Anyways, I'm Kanji Tatsumi. This mean you're my next opponent?
Opponent? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm talking about a scrap!
You mean a fight? But we have only met Tatsumi-san. Actually, where are we?
Enough blabbering, you machine!
With a yell, he slams the folding chair in his hand on the ground. A cold, dull metallic sound echoes and eliminates any possibility for talking over this.
What's a
With this
fake
over.
girl like you doing calling me by my name?
I go quiet. A fake girl. I understand how I might elicit such a reaction, but there is pain in my chest. Though I cannot help but smile at how instinctively I reacted that way. It seems I've become more human-like than I knew.
I was worried I might have to go up against my senpai, but I ain't gonna hold back against a robot like you.
Thinking with a calm mind, I noticed a small incongruity in his attitude. When he first saw me, he seemed unsure and claimed that he had not seen me before. Yet, though he knows now that I am a machine, he doesn't seem to particularly surprised. Aren't those two things contradictory? Not if he thinks it's a dream, I guess. I don't know if he's still in that realm. I focus my senses once more and enhance the gain on my sensors. I detect a faint interference. Because it had happened and it had appeared uniformly across all my sensors, I hadn't been aware of it. What is this?
You're not gonna do anything. I'll make the first move. Take Mikazuchi!
A persona?
Light flickers intermittently. Could that be electricity? A thick barrel-like arm charged with voltage approaches from above. I jump back and narrowly escape a crushing blow.
Nice dodge. Looks like you got at least a little bit of fight in you.
Persona user. I was careless. I should have expected that possibility, since I encountered him inside the TV. I do not know the procedure for attacking a human, but if he's a persona user, I must defend myself with the usual armaments.
There is no avoiding this fight. I cannot fall here.
And a fight against Kanji. Unexpected, I might say. I did not expect that to happen. Will she fight you, Narukami? I don't know. At all. I don't think she's going to face Akihiko or Mitsuru. But what do I know? Anyway, let's see what Mitsuru controls like. It's actually the first time I've ever gotten to play with her. Alright then, she's got bullets it seems. A limited amount, apparently. Alright, she can go all out like that. But it looks like she also has her Orgia mode around here. So that means I gotta be careful, I guess. Alright, so far not so bad. I just ignited him. Oh, electricity on me apparently. Alright, let's see here. I have trouble with my persona here actually. Yeah, now I'm being beaten in the corner. There we go. There we go. I don't know if it's possible to go Orgia even. Heartless Armed Angel. Oh, I didn't even know they had names on them. The Persona 3 crew. That's new. I guess I should have paid attention to the others. I'll have to go back and see what they were named.
Are you alright, Tatsumi-san?
I helped Tatsumi-san up off the ground and called to him. After repeating myself several times, I hear a groan.
Bill! Damn it! Ow! Oh, whoa! Hands off!
I'm sorry. If you can't stand, then I'll carry you.
I pick up Tatsumi-san, who is still lying down with both arms.
Whoa! Damn! You're a hell of a lot stronger than you look. Whoa, 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 whoa! How come you're carrying me like this? Like a bride or something?
This is the spousal method of carrying.
No, it ain't. It's the bridal... Oh, wait a second. Is it pretty much the same thing?
Tatsumi-san, you seem completely fine.
And he looks drunk.
That's what I've been saying! And stop with the Tatsumi-san crap. It's making my skin crawl. Just call me Kanji.
You don't object to being called that? I'm an artificial person, after all.
Huh? Who cares? If I say it's fine, then it's fine. Will you put me down already?
When I put Kanji-san down as requested, he turns his back and repeatedly scratches his head. I feel as if his demeanor has changed compared to how it was before the fight. His loud voice and rough words are the same, but the sense that he will not listen to a word I say is gone. I feel that I can make myself understood now.
Well then, Kanji-san, allow me to ask again. Where are we? And what did you mean by opponent?
Huh? You're not an enemy that Ted set up for me?
Ted? Are you referring to the bear who appeared on the monitor?
This is a fighting tournament. Only the winners get to keep going. I lost this time. But oh well. I wouldn't make it in the big leagues.
That sounds like something Akihiko-san would say.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Gotta say, you pack one hell of a punch. Got me real good.
Punch? But I didn't throw any punches.
Listen though, the rest of this tournament ain't gonna be so easy. My senpai are waiting up ahead.
There are more people here. Could you estimate how many?
Kanji-san smiles dauntlessly and gives me a thumbs up. I don't really understand why, but I give him a thumbs up as well. Good job. Then Kanji-san keels over. I rushed in to catch him. When I look at it into his face, is still smirking, but he has passed out. Seems he was fighting through his fatigue for the sake of his pride. He doesn't seem injured, so I carefully set him back down on the floor. Suddenly that costume Kanji-san called a Teddy appears again on the monitor.
Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
It's using that mechanical tone of voice again. The intruders must be me and the others. Since I won't be easy to eliminate, it appears that he's changing tactics. But what could he mean by valid targets? The monitor screen turns off once again. Just like before, it flickers back on after a few seconds. It is the same face as before, but a completely different attitude.
Woohoo! What a fox! Need to join in on our fun? I'm A-okay with that if you're up for a little fighting. I'll wait for you in the next arena up ahead.
This is more how he sounded at the beginning. He's gone back to normal, or at least recovered from an abnormality.
Oh, silly me. If you're cutting in, you don't know who I am. I am General Teddy. Remember that name well.
General Teddy. Apparently, he really is a teddy bear. He doesn't seem like one, but a number of things he said caught my attention. Joining in on our fun and the arena. These are in line with the tournament Kanji-san mentioned. Is this tournament being held here? But the monitor is silent once again, and he does not return. I do not think I will make any progress if I remain here. I poke my head through the door where Kanji-san appeared to check my surroundings. What looks like a school hallway leads straight ahead. There appears to be no danger nearby. I manage to hoist Kanji-san's bike over my shoulder and try to leave the room.
What?
But something gets stuck and prevents me from proceeding. I stop and check, but I cannot see any obstructions. Both of the sliding doors fell off when Kanji came in, and the way is completely open. It should be wide enough for me to pass through easily, even with a person over my shoulder. Yet I cannot proceed. Something is getting stuck. I slow my walking speed and check to see what part of me is getting caught. That is how I discovered something surprising. Nothing is blocking the way, yet only Kanji-san's body cannot pass through the door. It seems there is an invisible wall, one that is selective and prevents only Kanji-san's passage between the room and the hallway. Something Kanji-san said comes back to me. Only the winners can't keep going. Is this what he meant? I increase the sensitivity of my various senses, but I cannot detect any wall here. I have no way of destroying what I cannot touch, which means I have no choice but to leave Kanji-san here.
Oh well. I will come back for you later. Please stay safe until then.
Once he comes around, he's still a Persona user. It's not as if I'm leaving someone behind who can't fend for himself. I reluctantly convince myself to move on. And who are you going to face next? Could be Yukiko, Chie, you, and Chrysanthema, Yosuke. While moving down the hallway, my senses continue to pick up disturbances from everything in the school. It all looks so normal, though. There is a line of glass windows on the wall. Outside is a field level with the ground I am walking on. I seem to be on the first floor of the building. Eventually I reach a doorway and cautiously venture outside. There is barely any difference in temperature or atmospheric composition compared to the real world. But the lack of wind is unnatural, and there are other disparities between here and there. I turn around and inspect the building's exterior. This is indeed a school. I walk along the wall and go around the building. Soon I reach what seems to be the main gate. I turn towards the school building once again and come to a realization.
I recognize this place.
I have seen a photo from this angle in the preparation materials. As I recall, this is a high school in Inaba. To make sure, I step past the school gate and check the nameplate. The name engraved in the gate's pillar is Yasogami High School. I cross-reference the name with the map of the area and find a match. This is confusing. The real-world location has been completely recreated inside the TV. Why is it structured like nesting boxes? Just then, I sense something move in the corner of my vision. I quickly turn it and view it from the front. It is a uniformed girl. She is running straight through the opposite direction of the field. Is she a student? No, this is not a real school. Could she be one of the senpai Kanji-san spoke of? But a moment's thought highlights an important detail. Her pale skin and hair color.
That's...
There can be no mistake. It is the girl I saw for a moment at the airport after the hijacking. I immediately chase after her. But the girl is much faster than I anticipate, and I cannot close the distance. I release a portion of my foot speed limiters and finally get close, until I am able to grasp her right arm from behind.
Huh?
Ah, her. The girl stops and turns around. There's surprise on her face, but she stares in wide-eyed wonder at my form. Though I am surprised myself. That instant I take her hand, a flash of intuition charges through like electricity. This girl is Lavras. I am unaccountably convinced.
Who are you? That's one funny-looking costume you've got on. Oh. Well, Oh, of course. You're mixed up in this racket too, aren't you?
Racket? Does she mean the tournament?
No, I am not in this tournament of my own free will.
Really? Then you mind letting me go? I'm the student council president. I can't be letting people run wild at this school.
Student council president?
Didn't I tell you to let me go? Are you trying to get in the way of my work here?
The girl looks at me with an irritated expression. How strange. She speaks as if she really is leading an ordinary life here at school. If she was aware that she was inside the TV, would she say such things to me?
If you happen to know, could you please tell me what sort of place this is?
Huh? It's the first floor of the classroom building. Can't you tell?
Huh? Is it possible that you don't recall entering a TV?
A TV? Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of in a hurry here.
Before you do, please tell me something. Who are you?
Who? What'd you stop me for if you didn't even know? I just told you. I'm the student council president. What hole have you been hiding in? The elections were just last week. Are we done now? Because I got places to be.
The girl ends the conversation sternly, shakes off my hand, and runs away again. In an instant, she has disappeared into the school building.
Please, wait!
I go after her, but just as I enter the hallway and round the first bend, something blocks my path. But I can't see what it is at all. I can't see it, yet when I reach out my hand, I can feel it. I think I know what this is.
That wall again!
The invisible wall that prevented Kaji-san's passage. It's most likely the same thing. Once again, I am surprised. I can touch it, yet my senses detect nothing. And it's much stronger than I had imagined. It repels even gunfire, let alone physical strikes. I attempted various methods to destroy it, but before I can, the girl disappears from view.
It seems I am forced to try a different route.
I consider the situation once more. Was that girl truly Labrys? There are too many factors now indicating otherwise. Her appearance and the feel of her arm when I grasped it a moment ago. Both are strong signs that she is human. If she is entirely artificial, then she could not be part of any older generation of models than myself. Her speaking voice and behavior were both also indicative of known human patterns. According to the records of Labrys' development, she was sealed away soon after. Even I stumble with natural human speech. She could not have become so proficient in so short a time. She's not a machine, but a human, so she cannot be Labrys. Usually I would not hesitate to make such a judgment based on the available data. Yet I still cannot shake the feeling that she may be Labrys. That intuition I felt earlier. What caused it? This case remains murky. I feel as if my senses are being muffled by a thin cloth. But yeah, I thought I didn't read that right. But I cannot leave her be. Even if she is not Labrys, the fact itself means that she is in danger. I quickly look for an alternate route. No battle here. Strange. That surprised me. Oh well. A scene with no battle. Back here! I backtrack the way I came and run outside. Suddenly I am enveloped in a tidal wave of sound. These are human voices. The cheering comes from an enormous crowd. I turn around and a thick mass of people run towards me out of nowhere. There are boys and girls in school uniforms. It was clear that everyone is looking at me.
This is impossible.
How did I fail to detect so many humans? But then I noticed it. There is white noise running through all my sensors. It is the same feeling that I had before fighting Kanji-san. What is this? As I stand in thought, the students close in on me. I ask what business they have with me, but the uproar drowns out my voice. I cannot attack them, so I have no choice but to edge backwards. Soon my back is against the wall. I looked around for an escape route. Luckily there was a door beside me. I hurry inside to find shelter. The room I have entered appears to be spacious. It is dark here, but I believe it is the gymnasium. Here and there, folding chairs and gym equipment are piled in heaps. It looks like the result of some strange ritual. Suddenly, a light shines from in the corner. Upon close inspection, I can see a monitor showing something. It is airing some familiar faces. It's going to show the video. I'll watch it just so I can get a rest period.
Rivals. They are friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program amongst high school students. A new legend is about to start!
May the manliest of all men come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako! The sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night, Captain Resentiment, Yosuke Hanamura!
Everything that bores me has gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince! The unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muscles, the blood-curdling beefcake emperor, Kanji Tatsumi!
Deep into realms of romance!
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
I know it's redundancy again, but I needed the rest period. This game is boring me so much that I'm yawning again. I'm just gonna say it's the game, not that I'm tired. The game is just making me so bored now. I think I've just kind of outplayed it as much as I can. I'm not sure what to say about that video. It seems to be modeled after promotional videos for martial arts tournaments. I noticed appearances by Kanji-san and the host General Teddy. The other people shown must also be participants. It's safe to assume they are all Persona users. As if watching my reactions from somewhere, General Teddy appears on the monitor replacing the video.
Looks like you're officially getting in on the action. Welcome! Look, everyone, another challenger!
Without warning, there's a loud sound. All the doors in every direction open at once. Excited students pour in, cheering and yelling. Before I know it, I am surrounded by people with no means of escape. General Teddy grins at my situation and raises his stubby arm.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
Based on prior experience, this is possibly going to be Yosuke. The spotlight shines on a spot where the crowd parts. A female student can be seen. She has short hair and wears a sweatshirt. She looks very athletic. Oh, it's Chie. I recognize her face from the video. Her name was Chie Satonaka. She steps in front of me, bouncing from foot to foot.
I heard that you're elbowing in on the tournament. Suits me fine. Let's do this!
As she finishes her speech, she takes a fighting stance.
Huh?
Just then, a gleaming silhouette appears behind her. It is another Persona. Don't be surprised. Chie-san extends her palm, facing up and motions with her fingers taunting me.
Ooh, she's ready and raring to go!
This is strange. Chie-san's willingness to fight is odd enough. Even stranger are the students in the crowd. Even when seeing a Persona up close, they show no signs of alarm. Come to think of it, how did they get here? I cannot believe that they are all Persona users. But even if they were, would they be so excited over such brutality? While stuck in a mysterious world filled with potential dangers? That does not seem likely. Perhaps my basic assumptions are faulty. Could they, like these buildings, be unreal? I cannot jump to conclusions, but I decide to take the offensive. I turn to the monitor. Gerald is bouncing up and down gleefully.
I will fight on one condition.
Which is?
Interesting. He answered me. I can hold a conversation with him, which means he can see and hear me.
That you immediately release all these students from this school, or rather from this world.
But they're not real.
If you do that, I will fight as you wish.
Tut tut! Are you making demands to me? Before you get too worried about other people, why not worry about yourself?
I will not fight unless you guarantee their safety.
I glare at Gerald through the monitor. I didn't want to involve the students, but I have an idea.
Sheesh! What a stubborn girl!
He snaps his stubby fingers. The room instantly fills with light. I warm myself against it by covering my eyes. A few seconds later, the brightness fades to normal. As my eyes adjust, I see that the students have vanished.
Ta-da! Is that what you wanted?
Gerald smiles proudly. My guess was correct. The students were fake, and it's easier for him to remove them than to talk me into fighting. As a result, my senses detect the moment when the students disappear all at once. The only human here is Chie-san in front of me. Looking around, it seems that not everything disappeared. Human-like figures remain, as if the shadow of the students were burned into the scenery. There were several about the gymnasium. Their readings are similar to Xiao's, but they show no signs of hostility. So these are the true forms of those students. They have been unmasked.
Honestly, you're in no position to be making demands, you know. I'm making an exception just this once, because it's no fun if you don't both go at it tooth and claw. Even if you don't resist, your opponent will show no mercy. It'll be a grisly sight.
Come on! Even if the crowd was still here, would you not have hit back when I hit you?
No. The safety of the people must be prioritized above all else.
Ha! That's pretty cool of you, actually. But self-sacrifice doesn't mean much coming from a machine. They can just fix you right up. Oh, that's right. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. You probably don't feel pain or anything, huh? It just seemed that way because you look human.
You may not understand, but I can sense pain as well.
Really? That's such a weird thing to program into a weapon.
That's...
As I struggle to answer, Chie-san smiles wide.
Well, that's fine with me. Means I can fight you without pulling any punches.
Her smile disappears and her eyes spark with fires as she launches herself at me. I would rather not fight her, but she is a persona user. I clench my teeth and make myself ready to intercept her.
If I must fight you, then I will.
Bookmark here. Maybe I'll end it after this fight. Just so I don't bore myself to death. This whole game is now boring to me. That's sad. I guess nothing real interesting has happened recently. Story-wise. Just going through the motions, I think. Alright, Chie with her physical attacks and everything. I was assuming 120 bullets to start with is not the worst. I put a bomb on her. Alright. Maybe I should use my persona. Didn't really work. Uh-oh. You used Tomoe on me. There we go. How about if I do that on you then, Chie? Oh well. I just want to end this, I guess. Oh well. I wanted the cheap way.
A round of applause for both sides.
Ah, fine. I'll see the conclusion of this. Might as well. Well, of the Chie part, and then the next save is when I'll end it. Wherever it is.
Sheesh, wow. You're definitely a pro when it comes to fighting.
I'm sorry. Are you alright?
Yeah. But boy, I didn't stand a chance against you. Hey, what's all this about you being a robot?
She is upset by her loss, but seems cheerful. She didn't show this open-mindedness before the fight. Perhaps, as with Kanji-san, I can make peace with her by... No, it is vain of me to think that is possible. Her words echo in my mind. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. I hate to admit it, but her observation is correct.
I may seem like a ridiculous machine to you, but I'm still...
Huh? I never said that. Wait. You're not acting like you did before the fight. I'm surprised that you're a robot, but... What gives?
Chie-san looks stupefied. Her expression confuses me as well. She stated it clearly, yet she doesn't remember? Then something hit me. Didn't things go similarly with Kanji as well? Could it be that something was done to the participants? No, I should avoid drawing conclusions based solely on speculation. Besides, there is something I must do first.
That reminds me. I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Aigis.
Looks like we let our fists say too much before we opened our mouths.
I saw the introductory video. You're Chie Satonaka, correct?
Yep. Oh, you can just call me Chie.
A carnivore who's discarded womanhood.
Don't piss her off.
Okay, you didn't need to bring that part up, and I didn't discard anything.
I can use a persona, but I'm just an ordinary high school student. I go to Yasugami High. So anyways, are you, seriously a machine? No foolin'?
Yes. I was created as a weapon for a certain purpose. It may be difficult to explain to you.
Nah, I can tell from the fight you're telling the truth. Huh, so you're not cosplaying. Then again, it'd be pretty nuts for someone to come out here to cosplay.
Speaking of which, Chie-san, can you tell me what this place, this world, is? I confess that I am looking for someone. While pursuing them, I heard the rumor about going inside TVs, and ended up here.
Oh, right. You can use a persona. That's how you got into the TV. Where should I start? I don't know exactly how it works, but this place is supposedly a realm formed by human thought.
By thought? Does that mean this is someone's mental landscape?
I guess so.
Then we've physically entered a mental world? Through a TV, no less? How can this be?
To tell the truth, I never understood it so well myself. There was this insane monster thing around town up until early spring. It created this whole world, and I got my persona because of what happened in here.
Chie-san folds her arms with a troubled look on her face.
Come to think of it, all this stuff should have been over and done with. But you see that ad showing on the monitor over there? It suddenly started getting shown on TV in reality. There's no way we were gonna stand for that crap to be shown. So that's why me and my friends came in here to put a stop to it.
Your friends are here as well?
Yeah, a couple. Also, that Teddy guy who's hosting this, plus the girl Rise who's serving as commentator. They're my friends too, but they're acting so weird.
She lets out a sigh.
Oh, sorry, listen to me, babbling away. Do you think you can find this person you're looking for? Actually, could whoever it is get in here? I don't think normal people can enter the TV.
To tell you the truth, I have already encountered one such person, but...
I tell her about the girl I saw. I give her all the details that I can remember. I recall that she called herself the student council president. She did not seem aware that she was inside the TV.
Oh, you mean the girl who was calling herself the student council president? Yeah, I saw her too. She was yelling into a bullhorn to stop this foolishness, but then she ran off saying she was gonna go talk to the tournament's host.
She was wearing the same skirt that you are, Chie-san. It seems to be part of a uniform. Are you acquainted with her?
No, I don't know her. It's funny, that girl said she was elected last week. But if I remember right, our student council president was a guy.
I have my doubts about her. I must meet her again and figure her out.
Thank you. I now have a better understanding of the situation. Well then, I should be going now. I would like it if you could come along, but...
I know, I can't leave here, right? I'll stay put for now.
I will come back for you later. You may find it hard to trust me, but...
No, I believe you.
Chie-san replies unhesitatingly.
I've been through so much over this past year that I'm pretty confident I can read people. Honestly, though, what other choice do I have? If you run into any of my friends, tell them I'm okay.
I will.
After wiping the dust from her right hand with her sleeve, Chie-san extends it to me.
Aige-san, right? So, if this was some fighting manga, we'd beat the tar out of each other, then shake hands in the end as best friends. A powerful enemy can become a powerful friend, you know?
I clasped her hand. She smiled in embarrassment.
Friendship can do amazing things. I saw that for myself last year. And you and I can be friends too, so, you don't need to talk like you're just an object.
Chie-san.
Don't look at me like that. You're embarrassing me. Come on, get going. Go! Hurry!
Yes, I'll see you later.
Energized by Chie-san's words, I run towards the entrance. I turn around to wave to Chie-san. There is more at stake than Lavras. I must protect these people. I swear a vow to myself and leave. Oh, I actually went on longer than I expected. Chie sure talked a lot. I'm surprised about that. As I exit the gymnasium, I remain cautious while running down the hallway. Suddenly, I pick up a response on my transmitter, which has been silent until now. I stop and focus on picking up the signal.
Guess you hear... Can you hear me, I guess?
The staticky transmission soon becomes clear. It is a voice I recognize very well.
Mitsuru-san?
Good. It seems you're all right, too. It's been quite a while since I last used my persona in this manner. To think it would be useful in a place like this.
Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I can still sense him. I doubt he'll be defeated that easily.
She's speaking not out of carelessness, but trust. I know because I feel the same.
I'm sure you're aware by now, but although we came in search of Labrys, we appear to have been dragged into another incident. Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labrys ties into this situation yet, but be careful.
Before I can answer, the static grows louder and the transmission ends. Knowing that Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san are okay gives me room to breathe. The invisible walls are everywhere along the hallways, forcing me down a particular path. They're back here! I follow the route soon enough. I can see the shoe lockers up ahead. It seems I am back at the entrance. When I reach the entrance, the monitor nearby turns on as if it were waiting for me. I don't know, Yukiko? As usual, it's General Teddy. I took a defensive stance. This appears to be the arena for my next battle.
You're pretty good for a latecomer.
Instant General Teddy appears on the TV. My senses pick up that noise again. My suspicion turns into certainty. General Teddy is doing something before the matches. Whatever it is makes the opponent belligerent or something similar. I can assume that neither Kanji nor Chie-san were acting like themselves before the battle. That would explain why none of our stories were consistent afterwards.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
Who can it be now? I hear light footsteps. A young man wearing his hat low-rise. Oh, it's Naoto.
Naturally, of the three of you, you're the one I encounter first.
He shrugs his shoulders and pulls the brim lower. It's a chick! This boy was also in the promotional video. His name was Naoto Shirogane. I bring myself to high alert. He said 3 of us.
You know about us?
On hearing my question, he smiles cynically.
Did Mitsuru Kirijo not inform you? I don't merely know about you. I was there at the airport. The Kirijo group seems rather lax for a multinational corporation, allowing a machine to act autonomously and take command. To be frank, watching you fills me with pity. Perhaps the kindest thing to do would be to give you a merciful end.
Pity?
Your existence is inherently a deception, isn't it? You're a machine, and a weapon on top of that. Yet you look human. Those who meet you think you're human. You even seem to believe it yourself. Truly pitiful.
I have no answer to this. As much as I don't want to believe it, it's all true.
You were built to consider yourself human in order to activate the ability to wield a persona. Your appearance and your heart are only prerequisites for that power. I'm sure you've realized it already. You will never find the means to cross the gap between the human heart and your mechanical frame. No matter how much you want love, you'll never earn it. At best, people grow fond of you.
Man, that's a long monologuing from Naoto about Agus. You think Agus would pick up the fact that Naoto should know nothing about her in theory? He sounds as if he knows me. He knows for certain. I hang my head in spite of myself.
The more I consider the matter, the more I genuinely pity you. I'd best hurry up and put an end to your pathetic life.
Naoto-san draws his gun. Because my eyes are lowered, I am slow to react. I already knew that we had to fight, and yet I curse my carelessness and quickly stand back up. Come on, Agus, what's wrong with you? You're a robot. Well, that's the whole thing that's bothering you, actually. Whatever. Anyway, I'm going to end it here, and next time will be Naoto versus Agus. So long.